My top, Tampa Bay, let's roll, it's game day, Rays on the diamond, bolts in the sky, Bucs on the goal line, Bulls ride or die, from the tailgate talk to the bright field glow, you know where to go, it's the JP Peterson Show, hey, Tampa Bay.
Yeah, here we go on a big hump day. What's going on tomorrow, Timmy? Is there anything going on tomorrow? What's going on? Oh!
I don't know, looking for something to do in Tampa. There's probably not a lot going on.
Yeah. It's got to be the only time I can ever remember where the city council is the place to be. City council is the place to be on a Thursday morning, but that will be the place to be.
Need to get some vendors out there, like selling hot dogs in the parking lot.
They ought to be. They ought to be.
Breakfast tacos.
Want to make some, there's a sports bar right across the street, Top Shelf, I believe it was, I think they're going to open for breakfast, which they normally don't do. So, yeah, it's a thing. Shut up, everybody, in the comments. Nature calls. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do?
Look, I just said technical difficulties. I didn't say anything about nature.
I mean, shut up, people. Jesus Christ. It's why we do it's a live stream, we're not on TV or radio where we got to hit the mark,
God.
Jeez, old Pete, relax, will you? Man, a man's got to go. Jeez, old Pete, what are we doing? All right. We got lots to get to. Big show for you planned today. Evan Closky is going to join us, who's had some great perspectives on the Rays stadium. So for all you pricks out there that think I'm a sellout, we'll bring somebody else on to give their opinion on it. I'm so tired of those people, Timmy. I'm so tired of those people.
I can only imagine.
God, I just don't respond to them anymore. I'm just done. It's this whole damn thing. It's just disgusting on so many levels. So many people out there that just want to tear down and insult and take the process down to just the absolute gutter. But that's what politics is. I found out in a very real way. Because that's what we're in right now. This is and I've got some very strong opinions on what's going on right now that I'm going to share with you guys in just a few minutes. So, it's it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But now I really understand why our country is so completely dysfunctional and we can't get anything done because of politics. So we'll get into that a little bit today. Not much. I want to talk about the Bucs and the Jags yesterday, which was a huge wake up call. We're going to get to that with Evan Closky as well, and Charlie Strong is joining us at 11, so we'll talk about that with him as well. And then Alan Clendenin, the chairman of the city council, will join us at 11:30. There have been some changes, some fundamental changes to this document in the last week. He's on top of it. He will explain it to us. It's only gotten better from the public side. So everybody complaining about what the Rays won't build and you need to have these guarantees in there and all this stuff I hear that is so absolutely meaningless in the bigger picture. And this is what opposition has to do when they have no merit to argue the larger facts, is cherry pick little things and try to make them into big things, which they're not, but that's what's left for the opposition. And that's what they're doing. So we'll get into that as well. So great show coming your way. We'll jump right into it. And I want to start obviously with the stadium situation. We'll get to the Bucs here in just a second. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this. But what's going on right now is a full court press by the opposition to kill this deal. And a lot of it is the same people who in this city in terms of politics don't want anything ever built and just want to complain and bitch and moan about everything. This is kind of the grassroots politics of Tampa. So many of us don't get involved in it because it is that. And it's a bunch of squabbling. And what you have here in the back and forth changes that have gone over is, one side doesn't want this person to get credit. That side doesn't want that person to get credit. So they changed the deal and blah, 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 blah. And it's a bunch of petty infighting. And it's all happening in the city, by the way. And it's the mayor's office and the city council that have always been at odds. I think Alan Clendenin is trying his very best to calm the waters on both sides, but it's very difficult. And the worst part about it to me is the city's portion of this is now absolutely negligible. It's absolutely negligible, but you need them as part of the process for zoning and infrastructure and all these things. You need them to be part of it. But honestly, it's just been a clown show over there.
It keeps shrinking, right? Like the figure keeps shrinking for the city.
Oh my God,
I don't understand why. Do they not see value?
And
I mean, what's the reason?
Let's just say,
understand.
if you spend money on a stadium, there's less money to be spent on pet projects and fraud. Let's just put it that way. Because if you actually know where the money is going, if you actually know where the money is going to build something, and it can't be siphoned off into somebody's consulting project, well, yeah, that can be a problem. I don't get too bad into the weeds or say something that I shouldn't, but I'm really fed up with the whole political process. And the city's portion of this is so minimal at this point, but it's become a problem in the voting. And I hope that I know that everybody wants to do the right thing. I know they want to do the right thing, and they need to do the right thing, because this is much bigger than petty mayoral politics, frankly. And that has gotten in the way. There's no question about it. And people can get mad at me for saying it, but that's what it is. The county doesn't seem to have this problem. Now, the county has dealt with different issues and by the way, there's a great commentary in the Times today. And if I have time, I'm going to read a little bit of it. And it talks about, and this is from a CEO, not a Rays person, not, just somebody who's been very influential in this city, a builder, a respected businessman, who sees this project for what it is, an incredible economic driver outside of baseball. To pretend like the public investment in this is somehow so huge and large that it's going to be this huge anchor around the city and the county is absolutely ridiculous. And the amount of money that it's going to bring back, and that money is going to the money spent is going into the pockets of local people for the most part. It's not going into the pockets of the Rays owners. It's not going to the, quote, billionaires. It's going to build a effing stadium. Are they going to make money off that? Yes. And by the way, government's job in these situations in public-private partnerships is to set up the private business so they will invest, pay salaries, create jobs, which is exactly what this is doing, and that's good for your constituents. That's good for your constituents. So you opposition people can sit there and bitch and moan about, well, where's the guarantees? Well, if they don't build it, they don't make any money. I mean, duh. Well, they have to have guarantees. Well, why would they not? If they can sell a condo for $5 million, a 900 square foot condo, and make $3 million profit on it, why wouldn't they do that? I mean, it's just silly at this point. And all the guarantees that are coming back to the county and city. In the last month, as I explained, the Rays have taken on a humongous chunk of this deal, the biggest private investment in the history of any stadium. Yes, the public investment is large, but over 35 years, 700, 800 million is not that much money, especially when it's coming back to you 4, 5, 6-fold, as we've seen in the Battery. This is a great deal. And here's the problem. The opposition is loud. And so many of these people are coming at the county commissioners. They're getting constant emails. And what we need to do, if you're for this project, is barrage them with positive emails. No long-winded things. Just, hey, I'm out here. I want this for our community. It's a great deal. Please, please, please approve this. Doesn't have to be long. And when we go to the city council tomorrow, you get up there in your Rays gear in 30 seconds, just take an emotional plea, tell them who you are, give a short personal story of why you want this, whether it's jobs, baseball, business, whatever, all three. They've heard it all. What they want to see is numbers and passion. That's what they want to see, numbers and passion. What you say really doesn't matter. Just be passionate about it. Show up and tell these guys to do the right thing. Don't threaten their jobs. They already know that's that's the deal. But we need to show up in numbers big time and have passion, because I'm tired of talking about the deal because it's so freaking good. And the Rays have stepped up in so many ways. You will not find a better deal anywhere. And all these other opposition people citing all these old studies of stadiums from 30 freaking years ago. This deal is different. These are different. There are 50 stadium plans with mixed-use projects that have either been built in the last 5 years or are under construction around the world. This is the new age of how you build stadiums. It's not about the team. It's about the area around it. They're real estate plays, and this is what the Braves have done so exceptionally well. It's a proven model, and it's different than all these other stupid studies you and J.C. Bradbury and all you other people are talking about. That's ancient freaking history. This is new stuff, and it works for everyone. It's a win-win-win. And I just hope that these elected officials have some intestinal fortitude and block out all the negative noise and look at the deal. Look at the deal. Everybody's going to threaten you that they're not going to ever support you again. They're liars. They're going to go to the baseball games, and when they get in there, go, damn, I'm glad we built this. Have some confidence in your vote. Look at the deal. Don't listen to the outside noise. You know what's right for Tampa Bay for generations to come. So pull the yes lever and say aye and make it happen. It's pretty simple. It's pretty damn simple. This is a 30-year deal that we have been fighting, and for the last 10 years especially. And the biggest reason it hasn't been done is politics and our former owner. We have new ownership. Unfortunately, we have the same old political bullshit going on here in Hillsborough County, in the city more specifically. So hopefully those people will put all their personal stuff aside and get this deal done. Because if we don't do it and the Rays become a, quote, free agent and can look elsewhere, that's going to be bad. That's going to be really bad. While we got them and we have the opportunity, let's pull the freaking trigger and make this happen. And for us, the Petermans, we got to show up. I will be there Friday morning. I can't be there tomorrow. I may try to go just for a little bit, go and then get back to the office to get this show done. We're going to keep Big O's going to be down there. So I want you Petermans to show up both days. And we'll see and show up quickly, do your thing, and that's all you need to do. We'll talk with Alan more about the specifics of the deal and how it's changed in favor of the public at 11:30. All right, I want to get to Timmy. Do you have anything to add there? Questions, comments, anything?
No, the Petermans are chiming in quite a bit on this. And JP, there's one here. I don't know if you want to address or not that I thought stood out. Ken Nelson asks, please explain what high-paying jobs this will provide. I know you've been over this 1,000 times, but we might have somebody new listening to the show. I mean,
what's a high-paying job now? I mean, you set me up with a question like that, and what am I? Am I supposed to have some fucking crystal ball where I'm going to say, oh, there's going to be 137 of these technical? I mean, I don't know. Tell me, where are the high-paying jobs going to be in the next 10 years, Mr. You know how to predict AI?
Everywhere.
I don't mean to be, I'm so sick of all this. But you tell me where the high-paying jobs are. I don't profess to be some economic guru where you could go listen to CNBC and the smartest people in the world won't be able to tell you what the high-paying jobs are going to be in 3 years. Right? So I can't answer that question. So you set me up to say I'm going to be wrong about it. I know this, when you have bars and restaurants, you know what's a high-paying job these days? A server. That's a high-paying job. You can make $300, $400, $500, $600 a night. That's a high-paying job. There's going to be a lot of those jobs. Ken Atwater came in here and talked about the tech part of this, where their students can work in internships and other with tech companies that want to come into this area. I don't pretend to know all those things. I'm not going to sit up here and act like an economics professor. I don't know. And neither do you, and neither do the smartest people in the world right now know where the high-paying jobs are going to be in 3 years. So, yeah, I mean, they're going to be jobs. When you build that much infrastructure, bars, restaurants, condos, apartments,
it's common
business
sense.
Offices. Yeah, I mean, figure it out. I don't know what to tell you. Anything else?
It looks like JC Bradbury is blocking some of the Petermans.
Of course he is, because doesn't have any. He can't debate them.
Yeah, for
all of his
out
research.
His calling.
Yeah, all his research is so old and outdated. He wants to keep ripping on the battery, and it's been wildly successful. He said it would never be successful. He's 1,000% wrong. His entire reason for existing is going down the drain with these new stadium deals, so he's got to fight back. But he doesn't have a leg to stand on except old, 60-year-old data. So good luck with that. Yes, I am salty today. I am really salty today. I'm so tired of looking at stupid people on, well, you're giving money to the billionaires. Why don't they build their own stadium?
That might be the dumbest question I've ever heard out of anybody.
And I'll say this
and that's everywhere, JP. That's not just Tampa specific.
Because that's not how the world works. Billionaires bring investment dollars. They invest, hopefully they choose your community to use those billions of dollars to invest. And you know where that money goes? But contrary to popular belief, it doesn't go right into the back pocket of Ken Babby and Patrick Zalupski. It goes into actually building the stadium and the construction workers that come in and the engineering firms, which, by the way, those are high-paid jobs. Those people come in here and do their work, and they get paid for it as well. And then they create things where other people can come in and they can work and have jobs and feed their family. That's what billionaires bring. You want to get mad at billionaires? I get it. There's a wage difference. We all know it. But you need their investment dollars for you to live and for me to live. So if you embrace the billionaires and say, hey, we got a good deal for you. We're going to give you all this parking lot that we haven't been able to develop for 25 years. You come in, bring us a baseball team, develop the parking lot, give us a new college, build a lot of cool stuff there that people can go to and will come from miles and miles and countries around to see and drop their money here, and a baseball team that will have 81 games a year and create an incredible concert venue where we'll have another 150 things a year where people can gather as a community and come together and have civic pride. That's what the billionaires are bringing. I suggest you kiss their ass and thank them. Instead of going, oh, we don't want to bring any money to the billionaires. Because you know what they're going to do? They'll take their money to Orlando. And those people will benefit. Or Raleigh-Durham. That's what they'll do. Because you know what? They have choices. And they chose us. They chose us to put in $8 billion. Well, there's no guarantee. Here's your guarantee. Billionaires like to make money. And if I build a condo tower that I can make another $200 million in profit on, you know what? My guess is they're going to do it. I mean, it's just ridiculous. It's so ridiculous, the petty squabbling and the opposition. Oh, well, what about our roads? Have they fixed the roads in the last 25 years? No. You know why? Because they don't have the money. Well, they're just going to spend more money and it won't go to the roads. No, they're going to invest the money and get more money back. That's called growth. That's called smart growth. And if you can get private enterprise to bring in billions of dollars, as they've done in Water Street, just look at Water Street. We gave that billionaire a lot of money, and guess what? We're giving a lot of money back. We put in $100 million, we got $1.2 billion back already. And that's just in tax revenue because we gave a billionaire, Jeff Finnick and Bill Gates, money. It's called investment. And I'm sorry if you're too stupid to understand the concept. Yeah, I'm salty today. All right. Anything else on the stadium? Any other questions that
I'm afraid to,
anybody else I can eviscerate this morning?
I don't want you to blow out an aortic artery or something.
I'm just, and this comes from my inner passion for wanting to get this done on so many levels. I mean, I think it's just so good for the community. And it's, I know what sports brings to the community. I know what it means when the Rays go on a run or the Bucs win a Super Bowl or the Lightning win a Stanley Cup. I've lived it all my life. Nothing brings us together like our sports teams. Nothing. Around the world, look at it. It's the only sense, it's a civic pride that we have for the most part. On a public level, how much fun does it bring you? How much, and we need more vehicles to bring us together instead of isolating us in our little homes. We need areas that are aspirational, that people want to go to, iconic things built that draw people in. That's part of the human process. And it's so funny, I see all these opposition people, and you go look at their profiles, and they're just sad, angry people. They're such sad, angry people. And it's not just the stadium. They hate everything and everybody. And they don't want anything built or anything spent. Everybody else is stupid. You're all morons. You're giving money to billionaires. It's the same profile every single time. And hopefully those people don't show up when it's built because we don't want to see you. And we won't because you'll be in your basement, pounding away on your keys, hating everything. Good for you. Look at all the people that are for it. They're successful businessmen. They're great family men. They're fathers. They're husbands. They're builders. They're people that do things in the community in a positive way. Look at the profiles. Which side do you want to be on? Which side do you think is a better idea? It's not hard to figure out. It's really not. A lot of special interest, a lot of agenda-driven reporting, and people that are only interested in their narrow self-interest. The people that want this deal are people of the community who have served the people, and not necessarily in government, but in our community, philanthropists. This entire ownership group is full of them, of people who spend their money and their time giving it away to the community. And this is the biggest, frankly, I won't call it a giveaway, but a partnership that you can ever imagine that's going to make our city better, much better, much better, and bring light rail and bring jobs and bring positivity. And if you don't do the deal, we're going to sit here and lose our baseball team, and we're still going to be squabbling over potholes. That I can guarantee you. All right. We're moving on.
JP, Devin brings up a really good point here. JP, please stop. You're making too much sense.
I hate when I do that, right? Oh. All right, real quickly, and we'll talk about this with Closky here in a second. Look, this this practice yesterday with the Jaguars.
Did you call it a disaster?
It was a disaster, and my Jacksonville people sent me a lot of clips last night, and I'm watching all this stuff, and I'm listening to all the interviews in Baker Mayfield and everybody. We needed new energy. We got out physical. They played like their hair on fire. Blah blah blah. And I might get salty about this, but there is a host who said back in 2024 we really ought to keep this Liam Cohen guy and let the other guy go. We really ought to take this guy. Look at Liam Cohen standing in front of the mic. Super confident. His team just kicked your ass. First play of the scrimmage. And if you don't think this was a message sent to the Buccaneers from Liam Cohen, you're an idiot. Play action pass, 50 yards to Brian Thomas Jr. over Zion McCollum, touchdown. Yeah. That's what you let get away to Jacksonville.
I mean, he probably knows that Bucs defense better than anybody, right?
Oh, yeah, he does. And he made it work yesterday. And he embarrassed the Buccaneers. Imagine if you're Jason Light or the Glazers watching that yesterday. And hopefully the Bucs bounce back today. If they don't, that's a bad sign. But this is what happens when you have a coach, a young, innovative, super smart coach who knows how to get his team ready. And which team played with energy? Which team played with fire? Which team didn't? You're a reflection of your coach. I love Todd Bowles as a human, but this is what his practices are. The Bucs were huffing and puffing out there. They were out physicaled out there. Why? Because the practices are soft. The whole program is soft. And I don't mean that in a soft way. I mean, relatively speaking to the NFL. Every one of those guys will whoop my ass 7 times over, and I couldn't handle one practice. That's not what this is about. It's about the NFL. One team was ready and has been working their asses off and were prepared. The other team wasn't. And that's a wake-up call. And I'm glad it happened in preseason. And that's what Baker said. That's what everybody said. Godwin said it. It's a wake-up call. And that's what happens. Your coach on a daily basis, your structure should be the wake-up call every single day. That your effort isn't enough. You're not doing enough. You think you are because you're practicing against the other side, your own team. So it's hard to get a judge. It's like, yeah, it's been a good back and forth. Was it been a good back and forth against two sides that aren't very motivated and aren't playing that hard? So it just kind of goes back and forth. Oh, and when you go up against somebody else that has a different level of expectation in practice, You look foolish. I hope it's a wake-up call. It better be. Because if you would have brought that effort to Cincinnati, Joe Burrow would have ripped you for 45 points. So, yeah, I hope this defense did get a wake-up call. Because Jacksonville embarrassed you yesterday. Embarrassed you.
So, I guess my first question is, and by the way, I did see that it wasn't all negative yesterday.
No.
I read that Ted Hurst looked really good against Travis Hunter, by the way. Tristan Wirfs looked really good. From again, I wasn't there. This is reports that I'm reading.
No, I trust the Pewter Report guys where I got a lot of my information from. Rick Ballou from the Jacksonville side. I trust those guys' eyes implicitly, and they all said, what was evident. Yeah.
It sounds like the defensive front got a little pressure on Trevor Lawrence when they needed to. So maybe it wasn't a complete disaster, across the board. But I think my biggest question is here, do these teams address these joint practices like a game? I don't know that they do. Like, I don't know that the Jaguars.
Liam Cohen did.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The Jaguars might have gone into this thing with Liam Cohen's chip on his shoulder, which I don't know why he's got a chip on his shoulder for the Bucs, because he's not there anymore and he's making a butt ton more money. If anything, he should show gratitude towards the Bucs because they're the ones that gave him the opportunity as an OC, and that's why he's in Jacksonville. So I don't know where the hate's coming from, but
it's not hate. It's just professional. It's just professional. Listen, I'm going to embarrass you because that's what football is, man. It's like I'm a badass. I'm going to show you right off the top and set the tone for this practice. I want to win this practice. That's Liam Cohen's attitude. Todd Bowles is like, oh, hope we get some good work.
They're not keeping score. There's not winning.
Yeah, they are.
I was like, I don't.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are, Timmy.
I don't know. I don't buy any of this. It's a joint practice.
Let's just put it this way. I want my head coach keeping score. I want every time I step on that. I don't care. And listen, I'm not saying I'm going to use all my number one guys out there and get them all injured. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying is within the structure of what you're trying to do that day, you want to win every day. And if you're in football, you want to win convincingly. You want to give your team, at least I would as a head coach. If I'm going to do a joint practice, I want to win. I want to embarrass the other team because you know what that does? It shows me that my team is on it. And they're doing what I want them to do. All right, Closky's getting ready. We got to take a quick break here. I'm trying to stay on schedule. Right. Quick break. Back on the other side with the great Evan Closky. Well, we know there are roofing scammers everywhere. So for ultimate transparency, my friends at Pitch Roofing built something called the Pitch Partner Portal. And it is live right now at partner.pitchroofing.com. See, when you roof with Pitch, you're not just a customer, you are a partner. Every partner gets a private account. You can see your entire project in one place, where it stands, your documents, photos, your balance, and your team. You want an answer at 11 o'clock at night? It's all right there. They also built a free roofing calculator in-house on that same site, so you can get an estimate, and unlike these other websites, you don't have to talk to anyone if you don't want to, and they do not sell your information to other companies. You are never turned into a lead. It all stays with Pitch. Now, right now, the portal is open to all of their Tampa Bay area partners, and Delray Beach, Orlando, the Villages are coming soon. So if you've been thinking about your roof, start at pitchroofing.com or call 727-67-PITCH. That's 727-677-4824. Transparency right in your pocket. That, folks, is roofing done right.
Pitch roofing done right.
Spring means a time of renewal and Rays baseball, and the folks at Italiano Insurance want to welcome the Rays to Tampa and remind you it's time to renew those insurance policies with the now famous Italiano Insurance Checkup. Let the experienced and friendly agents shop your policy for the best price and coverage. Famous for saving me over $1,000 on our auto insurance last year and over $500 on our homeowners. Now that's a grand slam. Might as well get a double play by adding flood insurance and business insurance to your portfolio. Costs less than you think, and trust me, you do not want to risk your home or personal wealth. That's a big whiff. So step up to the plate and call 813-877-7799 and chat with the all-star agents at Italiano Insurance. 813-877-7799 or go to ItalianoInsurance.com. Go Rays! Hey guys, you already know that Riveters is the best sports bar in all of Tampa Bay, but now it gets even better for Rays baseball season. During all Rays games, check this out, $6 Tito's, $6 Jack, $6 margaritas, all during Rays games. Are you kidding me? And that's always a great pour from the great bartenders at Riveters. Great service, great food, everything is fresh, nothing is frozen. And let me tell you, if you want baseball and wings, you will not find any better than Riveters. Their sauces, like the blue cheese and the ranch and everything, is handmade, and the wings are big and they're perfect. Wings, baseball, Rays, Riveters. It all comes together during baseball season. Once again, in addition to all the great food and service you get, $6 Tito's, $6 Jacks, $6 margaritas. It's time to celebrate. Baseball season is back, and celebrate at Riveters. You know where it is, right there on Dale Mabry, just north of 275, just south of the stadium. See you there at Riveters. From I do to I still do, the Golden Diamond Source is there for you at every special moment in your lives. Yes, I went shopping there for my engagement ring, and it's not actually family, but it sure feels like family with Julie and Steve Weintraub, great philanthropists here in the Tampa Bay area. They've been doing this business for over 40 years. Thousands of customers have bought that perfect ring at the Golden Diamond Source. No matter what your budget is, they will guide you through your first diamond purchase to upgrading your Golden Diamond Source diamond at 100% of its value for a bigger, better diamond. 100% of your diamond's value. You can't get that anywhere else. Enjoy their beautiful, relaxing bridal salon and select for the most extensive collection of diamond engagement rings anywhere. Wedding bands, anniversary rings, it's all there. Go see them at the Golden Diamond Source, 3800 Omerton Road, and please tell them JP sent you. Just over the bridge from Tampa Bay, it's the easiest place to shop for that perfect diamond. JP here for Genesis of Tampa, and as you know, I purchased a GV70, a 2023, about 3 months ago. Just had the service done, the valet service. They came here to the studio, picked up the car while I was doing the show, went and serviced it, brought it back like I never even knew it was gone. And if I needed it, they bring me a loaner as well. The service is absolutely incredible. The car, I've been driving it for a while, and I could not love it more. The performance, the luxury, the looks you get, it's pretty cool. It's a GV70. Right now, they have a lease starting at $329 for the GV70, at $369 for the bigger GV80. You've got to go test drive these cars, folks. I'm telling you, the value that you get for the money, it feels like the absolute top of the line, and it is, but it's a fraction of the cost. You got to go test drive them. Tell them JP sent you. 801 East Bears Avenue, just off of 275. You will not regret it. Genesis of Tampa.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by the great folks at Pitch Roofing, who now have the Pitch Perfect portal for you. That is where you can go to the website and check out your deal. If you're getting a roof done, you'll find out how long it's going to take, what it's going to cost, who's doing the deal. There'll be pictures up there. Anything you want to know about your roof deal, full transparency. It's getting done right there on your personal account. That's what they do at Pitch Roofing. Make sure you call them and get an estimate. They could do it from their office. They don't have to come out, or they can come out and take a look at your roof and explain to you what the whole deal is about. Pitchroofing.com. They're honest folks over there. They will stand by their work, and that's something you can't say about 90% of the roofers out there. Pitchroofing.com. We love that.
Pitch roofing
Done right. Very nicely done. All right. Evan Closky from Tampa Bay 10, their sports director, who always has a great perspective on things. And Evan, I specifically wanted to bring you on because according to social media, the few trolls that are out there, I'm getting paid lavishly by the Rays to support this deal. I don't believe you were allowed to be paid. Neither am I, by the way. So give me your unabashed feeling on this new Rays deal. There's been a lot of work done in the last week or 2 weeks or so that has made the public side even better for the county and the city and the residents. And I think this deal, I think the Rays have done a great job acquiescing to a lot of the demands of the politicians. And I think this is a great deal. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, look, if you're on the dissenting side, and I think Bill Carlson actually said it on social media kind of well. Of there are a class of people who are Rays fans who are going to be abundantly for a stadium regardless, and there are going to be a class of people who are just anti any money towards a stadium, and that no matter what you do, you're just not going to like the proposal. Like a great example would be the last city council meeting. Like Miranda and Hertech are talking about, oh, well, property taxes, like, we can't make a decision now because of property taxes. But 6 months ago, that wasn't a thing, and they were arguing against the deal in a different way. So, the narrative just changes. If you remove one element that people complain about, they're just going to find another element to complain about. So, when you look at the people in the middle, the probably the biggest complaint is there really isn't anything binding on the Rays' part that they have to commit the $8 billion that they said they're going to commit to the project, right? Then I say, hey, that's true and all, but it does not make any sense for the Rays to not invest in this project.
Exactly.
Because the whole way that they're going to make money, the way that it's going to be sort of a sweetheart deal for them is that the more that they put into that development district, the more money they're going to extract out of it.
That's right.
That's how they're going to make a ton of money. That's where their interest is. That's why they're doing it, right? To build a state. Look, if the only way to build a stadium and do nothing around it would be if they were to flip the project. And I do not believe that is their intention with everything. So when you look at the totality of the deal and the land that's currently making $0, if you did nothing on the land, it's going to stay making $0. The money that's put into this project is not going to be shifted all of a sudden to potholes and other things like that.
Exactly.
It's a totally stream of money. So it's kind of it's an apples and oranges a lot of times in the debate, but yeah, I mean, I think from a perspective of wanting like a guaranteed amount of dollars into the project, I think people are fair to ask that. I just think that it would go against the Rays' best interest to not do anything. So yeah, I mean, timeline wise, we don't know exactly how fast they want to move and all that stuff, but they're going to invest in the development and around it. And some of that is going to percolate immediately in 2029, and other stuff will flow soon thereafter. And all in all, I think as long as transportation's figured out, which it seems like has been the headliner there, I think people are going to fall in love with it.
Yeah, I do agree. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on it, but I want to get your independent take on that. Not my, since I'm a shill for the Rays, I wanted to get your independent take on that. On the field, another uninspiring offensive performance last night by the Rays. I said it at the deadline. I don't think they did enough offensively to change this team. I think maybe they're counting on getting some push from a Jacob Melton or a Gavin Lux or a Fraley, which is entirely possible, by the way, and I hope it happens. But this offense, as it's constituted right now, I don't think it's good enough for the postseason. It's good enough to win the AL East. I think they can play 500 the rest of the way. I don't know if that'll get it done, depending on what the Yankees do, but it doesn't look really inspiring in the past couple weeks since the nine game win streak at the road trip.
Yeah, and look, at the end of that 9-0 West Coast road trip, we got to remember that from like June 1 to whatever that date was, they were leading the league in home runs, right?
Yeah, crazy.
And so I think what you're seeing is a natural regression. The long ball isn't flying out as much. Victor Mesa Jr. has been sidelined a little bit, which kills the slugging of this team and a little bit of their ceiling. They should have him back around September 1. So when you have Victor Mesa Jr. in that lineup, Liam Hicks hitting 5, Victor Mesa hitting 6 or whatever. You put Chandler in there at 5, Victor Mesa, however you want to do it. All of a sudden the lineup lengthens out a little bit more. I think there is a debate if he can stay healthy for more than 2 weeks for Jacob Melton to possibly come up and challenge Cedric Mullins for his spot in the starting lineup. Now, having said that, he can come up and strike out a million times, right? But he does provide you a way higher ceiling with slug. And when you're talking about the playoffs, not the regular season, as you mentioned, you're going to need to bop the ball out of the ballpark
Yep.
because you're going to be going against some of the best pitching in the world. And, you are going to be grinding through at bats, and you need the quick pill to get runs on the board because in the playoffs, it's going to be very hard to string single after single after single against a Cam Schlittler, against a
Yes.
Garrett Cole, against a, whatever lefty you want to throw out there for Boston. So I think that, I'm very curious what the Rays are going to do September 1 because they got a lot of decisions to make with their roster, and rosters will expand by 2, and so we'll see. They have some mechanisms in place to give it a jolt. I'm not sure if they're going to pull them, but I think they need to be considered.
Well, all right. Now, what are you talking about there?
Well, that's the thing. Like, Melton replacing Mullins. Mullins
Right.
is the veteran, right?
Right.
Jake Fraley is doing rehab games right now in AAA. So are they going to put Jake Fraley on the major league roster? Are they just going to cut him and say, hey, like, we just don't have a spot for you?
Right.
It's, Gavin Lux, I don't foresee coming back this year. I haven't heard much about him. Cole Sulcer's in the bullpen. He's pretty close to finishing up his rehab assignment. Do they just say, hey, we're done with you? And Ty Johnson's going to be the guy that we're focused in on, moving on a young prospect that Rays fans haven't seen yet, who I think would be an incredible arm to add to this bullpen.
Yes.
So I just think that there's a lot of players who can potentially be better than what they presented for most of the year, and that comes with a little bit of risk so late in the season because they're young, except for Fraley, but like they're young and you just don't know what they're thinking of. Like, we're confident they can get the job done versus onboarding them for a month during the most critical part of the season.
No, that's why I want to drill down on that because I think it is absolutely a fascinating discussion and a risk. I mean, you've got a team that is 3 games up in the year, or 2.5 games up now.
3.5.
But 3.5. Let's just but let's be honest, they've been not great recently, and it feels like they need a jolt. They need a jolt to something. Now, can they play it really, really conservative, get into the playoffs, and see what happens? Sure, they could. But I kind of like what you're thinking. To me, I want to get a little froggy. I want to see what I got because this Jacob Melton kid has just drips. He oozes with power and everything. You want to see him play. He could be a huge factor. He could also be a complete dud.
Yeah.
These guys just coming back to play at the absolute elite level of Major League Baseball in September when everybody has their timing down and everything. Asking them to come in and make a huge impact is a stretch. There's no question about it. But the talent is there. The talent is there, and it's just so tempting. Where do you go? And I think Neander's going to have to, make a lot of crucial decisions. And does he take the safe route, or does he put a Ty Johnson in there? I would like to see some of the new faces and see what happens because I think your core is really good. And if you spice it up just a little bit, it's risky, I know, but so you take Cedric Mullins out. Yes, he's had some nice moments, but in general, and he's very steady in center field. He's not going to hurt you. He's not going to make a big mistake. You put a rookie in there or an inexperienced guy, and he makes a mistake at a crucial moment in the playoffs, you'll never forget it. Never forget it. So there's a lot.
It's a lot easier to do things here sitting on my porch than sitting where Eric Neander is. I will say a leaf for Jacob Melton. He is an A+ defender. So left, center, right, you can put him anywhere. He's going to be awesome. Jake Fraley is not a great outfielder. And at this point in the season, with how good the defense has been in the outfield, I would not want to screw with that to try to add maybe a little bit of a better bat. Like, the pros have to outweigh the cons. At least with Melton, he can go out there, strike out 3 times, and I know he's going to play a darn good outfield. Like, I can't say the same with Fraley if he goes 0 for 3.
Right.
And
Mesa's been good.
Mesa's been awesome. I mean, Mesa, DeLuca, Mullins, Melton, if he were to come up, like Simpson, these are all like above average to great defensive outfielders. So, the Rays do need to double down on the run prevention side of things. I don't think they should be losing any of they can focus in the offseason about maybe adding some more pop, and we can talk about that. But right now, with the genetic makeup of this team, with 30 games to go, we know that they need a strong defensive outfield to be successful, to play the run prevention game. And I would not want to sacrifice any of that. So to me, it's Melton over Fraley in those permutations. And maybe it's as simple as, hey, Jake, we don't have a spot for you anymore. We're gonna waive you, and another team's gonna bring you on, and they're gonna utilize you in their playoff push. And hey, away you go, and you set up yourself for 2027. But that there are some tough calls here, and I will say at least September 1, I imagine that Griffin Jacks and Victor Mesa Jr. will take those 2 added spots. So you bring them off the IL, you add them to the roster. You don't have to send anybody down. Easy peasy. It gets a little complicated after that.
All right, let's transfer over to the Buccaneers and what happened yesterday at Jags camp. Looks like the Bucs are bouncing back a little bit today, but I think that was a much-needed wake-up call for this team, and I also think it draws a really great contrast between Liam Cohen and Todd Bowles. I said it, and I think you were on board with this, that we'd all love to have Liam as the head coach. I mean, I just think he's just a younger, more innovative, fiery type coach, and we saw all that yesterday, and his team was well prepared. They out-physicaled the Buccaneers. I know it's just a practice, but it shows to me the difference in these two teams, because I think the Bucs have a more talented roster than the Jags do overall. But they put it to them, and I think it's a great wake-up call for these Buccaneers, and it gives me some pause as to all the optimism I was feeling about this team. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't know if it gives me any pause in that regard. I think it is a wake-up call for sure. You're in the dog days of the preseason. You stroll up there to Jacksonville. It's the second time you're going to go through joint practices on the road, and you dominated the Jets in the last joint practices, and maybe you just thought you're going to stroll up there and we're going to have a bunch of success and things are rolling. And I think it was really nice that they got smacked in the face.
Yeah.
A little reminder to them that, hey, we are not as good as we thought we were. I mean, Baker was as pointed of comments against this team as I think I've ever seen him, which is good. Chris Godwin was like, hey, if we're preparing the preseason to the regular season, we're going to get cracked. It's just, there are a lot of people upset about how that performance went, and I think that there's a lot of good that comes out of it.
That's good.
It should,
yep.
You should be facing some adversity, and it does seem like they, again, judging by reports of what we're seeing, it seems like they're doing a little bit better. Now, there isn't 11-on-11 stuff, at least to my last check, but it does seem like things have progressed, and they've answered the bell a little bit better, which is what you want to see. So we like that. I'm not going to overrate kind of a joint practice per se, but yeah, I think that it was a little wake-up call, and we'll see if it gets them going a little bit, entering towards that matchup in Cincinnati.
Overall, what you've seen from this Bucs camp, and especially at the quarterback position,
I lost you, JP. Hold on a second.
Check 1, 2. Oh, it's the same guy that was out at the Bucs with his weed whacker and his blower. Same dude. He just follows around all my guests and just absolutely terrorizes us with that weed whacker. Horrible. Yeah, getting some reports from Pewter Report over in Jacksonville. Jalen Daniels is running the second team and ran the second team yesterday. It is pretty clear at this point that the Buccaneers are positioning Jalen Daniels to be the backup quarterback. And evidently, Jake Browning didn't get any reps yesterday and is not getting any reps today with the twos. So Jalen Daniels is getting the number 2 reps. Closky's back with us. It's the same guy was at the Buccaneers with the blower and the weed whacker. It's the same dude.
Yeah, I had that. But for some reason, StreamYard sometimes you can hear me, but I can't hear you. It just happens randomly.
Yeah, sorry about that. It's not my fault, people. See,
just like the
I
weed
lost all
whacker's
the
not my
audio too
fault.
with you guys. I lost all the audio too, and I had to bounce out and come back in. So I don't know.
It's been happening more recently.
Yeah.
But at least it gave me a chance to get away from the damn people outside.
So Jalen Daniels looks like I didn't think it would be smart for the Buccaneers to put him at the number 2 position. Now they've got a lot more information than I do. I just think Jake Browning is a guy that can come in and play, and just play a game, check it down. You can win it and get the hell out of town. You won't make any big mistakes. Where, Jalen, he's a rookie. You just don't know what you're going to get. I mean, obviously he has a much higher ceiling than Jake Browning. That's not what we're talking about. But the backup's job is to come in, be conservative, don't make any mistakes, and try to get a win. That's not Jalen's profile right now, but it's pretty clear that this team doesn't care. They love Jalen. They're going to make him the number 2 quarterback. Is that a wise choice at this point?
Yeah, I mean, we'll see also. I mean, there's a world where maybe they believe they can slip Browning through waivers and they can't slip, Daniels through waivers.
Yeah.
There's a chance where, and what I've been asking for is I want to see Jalen Daniels go up against stiffer competition. There's a world where they want to give him as many reps as possible to get more on him against better competition to see what's going on. I think the telltale sign will be on Friday if like Browning plays a half and Bazelak plays a half and Daniels doesn't play anything. It's at that point where now I'm ready to say, oh, they really do think he's a QB2. I agree with you. I think that, look, Daniels is a tantalizing prospect, and they can't risk losing him. You cannot just give up on a quarterback prospect for free for someone else to grab. So we're all in agreement out there that he should be on the 53-man roster because you can't lose him. But as you said, if it's 1 to 2 games, like there's a lot that goes into being an NFL QB. And I always say that being an NFL QB, for the most part, you got to play time on task, not time off task. Now, Jalen Daniels is great off task, especially with a really bad offensive line in the preseason against some unathletic players across from him who are 3s and 4s. And yeah, he's a guy that has 50 collegiate starts to his name. So to be fair, it's a little bit outside of his weight class. And especially with the way that NIL is working these days, you're going to find more quarterbacks have more experience because they're going to come into the league with 50 games. So the fact is, Jalen is just better than who you're throwing out there in the second half of preseason games. But there's a big difference between that and going up against the ones of the world, the greatest, the Myles Garretts of the world, and having to negotiate all these defensive pictures and it's just a lot. And if you look at the laundry list of UDFA rookies who have played in the NFL, it's not the prettiest of lists. I think I say that the last successful story might have been Tommy Cutlets, which I think he went about 3-3 for the Giants. Which is solid. Don't get me wrong for a backup. But that's kind of what you're looking at, like a Tyson Bagent. That was another guy who he did some nice things out there. That's kind of what you're looking at. So if you are even on the most optimistic end of Jalen Daniels, you're kind of looking at that guy who's going to come in and be 500 as starting QB against NFL defenses, which I would just really prefer for his development to just get a year and handle. Now, look, if Baker goes down with a season-ending injury, throw Daniels out there. The season's screwed anyway.
Right,
Might as well get him some reps.
Yeah. And I think that's why they have to keep him. Originally, I thought, you could get him onto the practice squad, but he played too well.
He
played too well for that.
I think that's how they were too. They're like, this will be fine. We'll send him through waivers, big bang boom. But now it's gotten to the point where, if you're a crap team out there in the NFL, why wouldn't you stash him on the 53? What do you have to lose?
Yeah, it's so funny. It's if you put Jake Browning on the practice squad, nobody's coming to get him.
That's the thing, and they can, and that's the thing. They can throw Browning through waivers on the practice squad, pay him whatever they're paying him, and then elevate him, if need be, on those games where Baker is hurt. So you get 3 elevations. I don't want to see Browning for more than 3 games. So that sounds good for me.
It's if Baker were to go down to week 1 and you needed a starter for week 2, who do you want? You want Browning or Jalen? You want Browning. Because you think you can beat the Browns with the kid that's just going to go out there and keep it simple, let the other guys play, get the ball to the playmakers, don't make a mistake. Whereas, Jalen, it's more obvious that he could make those mistakes. So it's all situational is my point. And having all 3 available would be nice. And the only way to, I think, and here's the other part, as you know, it's that 4th running back. It's that last defensive lineman. They got a lot of good defensive linemen that they don't want to lose. And if you keep 3 quarterbacks, that might cost you one of those guys. It might cost you a Josh Williams or a Jalen Jones, guys that you don't want to lose.
Yeah, and that's the part of the numbers game, and
Yep.
I think that they'll be able to get a guy like Jones through. Elijah Simmons, probably a different story. They're going to have to make a tough cut there. But that's the thing is, like, maybe there's a debate after the bye week. Who would I prefer, Daniels or Browning? After he's been in the NFL for 10 weeks now, has been running scout team stuff. We've been hearing more reports. Maybe we can like circle back then. But as you said, like out of the gates for the first month or two. Like it would be a really bad situation and bad developmentally for him, bad for his development to throw him out there that quickly. So I think that hey, the Bucs might have found something here that's great. Handle it with care, and now they got to play the numbers game. And as you know, those last 5 or 6 spots like have to be dedicated to special teamers, and that's where you start losing a guy here, losing a guy there that you cringe when you have to cut him.
Yep, absolutely. All right, Evan, great stuff, my man. Really appreciate you jumping in. Tell everybody how they can get your content out there.
Yes, you can hit 10 Tampa Bay News app. We have all our sportscasts up there. Whenever I'm doing kind of a commentary or whatever it might be, we'll also land on the 10 Tampa Bay News app. You can always find me on X at Closky, WTSP. Send me your thoughts. Love responding. And then also just, we're going to be tracking here the beginning of the NFL season. We're going to be tracking towards the end of the Rays season. Lightning training camp is going to begin in a few weeks. So this is where I get no sleep for you.
Don't forget about college football, bro. I mean, I got to go to college football games.
Factor in all the college football stuff too, as well. This is my tax season. So I'm going to be working hard for you. I can promise you that.
We love it. Absolutely fantastic. Thanks, Evan. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
All right, we're going to take a break. Coach Charlie Strong is in the house. We're going to talk some college football with him. We're going to talk about something he never saw coming. NFL players coming back to college. What the hell are we doing? Genesis of Tampa, I can tell you, is where you need to go to buy a new car. That's what I did about 3 months ago. Got a GV70, actually a 2023 I got. It's like new, absolutely like new, except the price. I got a great deal on that, and I absolutely love it. You will too. Go check out these Genesis cars. The value you get is unbelievable. They are just as good as the top echelon of the cars, SUVs, but the price is a fraction of that. That's what makes them different. So go check out Genesis of Tampa. Go for a test drive. They love having you out there. Real easy, 801 East Bears Avenue, just off of 275. Tell them JP sent you. Back in 3 with Coach Charlie Strong. Hey, Tampa Bay, it's time to get your AC unit ready for summer. And here at Third Generation Plumbing and Mechanical, we recommend getting ahead of the game, keeping your family cool before the hot summer months with one of our maintenance agreements in the hopes of avoiding the dreaded emergency service call. Our maintenance agreements include, we'll test the electrical components, check and tighten high and low voltage wire connections. We'll check the refrigerant for manufacturer's performance levels, test thermostats, calibrate if needed, clean the evaporator coil and condenser coil, and clear and treat the drain line and drain pans. Just call us at 813-961-8024 for the special rates, and a human will actually answer. 813-961-8024 or go to thirdgenerationplumbing.com.
Ciao, Paolo Tini here, owner of Caffè Paradiso, voted number 3 People's Choice Award on Open Table. I want to thank all our loyal family of customers that have been enjoying our great traditional Italian dishes we make from scratch every day. It's a great family story we're proud of. Our family moved from Rimini, Italy in 1984. My dad, Caesar, started Donatello, and that's where I got the start in the restaurant business. I started Caffè Paradiso on South McDill in 1995, and we've been there ever since. From our traditional ossobuco, a veal slow roast for 4 hours, to our daily fresh catch, the Gruppo Paradiso, with a piccata sauce and lobster claw meat, homemade pasta like lasagna, farfalle salchicha, which is a bow tie pasta homemade with fresh sausage. Hold on a minute, JP's favorite.
I love it.
So come and have a glass of wine with me on South McDill. Get a reservation on Open Table and see all our 5-star reviews. Ciao, see you soon at Paradiso.
Welcome to Kingmakers, home of the JP Peterson Show studio and Tampa's premier business networking and social club for members only. By day, it's an exclusive, vibrant co-working space with a stylish conference room focus rooms, a full production studio, and an in-house marketing team. And by night, Kingmakers transforms into a sports-centric social hub with a full sports bar, golf simulator, and exclusive events. For young entrepreneurs and seasoned professionals, it's the perfect place to work hard, play hard, and make big moves in Midtown Tampa. Close the deal, celebrate the win. Only at Kingmakers. Become a member today at kingmakerstampa.com. Your business, your club. Hey, JP here for my concierge medical professional, Chris Lugo, PA. You've heard him on the show for a couple of years where he shares invaluable medical, nutritional, and supplement advice. With Chris, it's like having a medical provider as your best friend. What I love about this concierge service is the convenience and support he offers. I can text or call him 24/7 with any questions or concerns, and he'll promptly call in a prescription if needed. No office visits or copays required. It gives me peace of mind knowing I have someone genuinely invested in my health, not just focused on insurance profits. And the best part, the Bay Area Modern Medical Center's personal concierge service is more affordable than you might think. Don't let insurance companies dictate your health care. Take control of your health and wellness today. Visit BAMMC.com for more information and to schedule your initial free consultation. Empower yourself and take charge of your personal health with BAMMC.com.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
Well, we're back on the FanStream Sports JP show, and JP doesn't know it as he's yapping away with Coach over there when they could be yapping here on the air. As I guess we'll just, as JP doesn't realize that we're back on the air here as he's yapping away with the coach and just having their own conversation over there.
As we always do. As we always
some
do.
of it for the air is what I'm trying to say.
Yes. All right. So hold on. I gotta add Coach in here. There we go.
4.5 minutes of break.
How long were we chatting?
We were talking too much.
They couldn't hear us, by the way.
I mean, it's time to take another break now, JP. Y'all been yapping so long.
Does the shot look good? It's hard to see on my smaller. There we go. There's Coach. Sorry about that, Timmy. But I'm sure you entertained the folks. Yeah,
we were entertaining watching you.
How you doing, Coach?
I'm doing well. How you doing, Jay?
I know you're going to vote for the stadium if you had a vote, right?
Oh, yes, without a doubt. You have to.
Right. I mean, you've coached in so many places, and you've been to a lot of big cities, and you see these. I mean, like in Austin and that in Texas. I mean, just the people that come to that city for a weekend college football game. It's just it's a little bit of an economic impact, isn't it? With these sports events.
Oh, without a doubt. And now you're talking about putting this stadium right in the middle of Tampa.
Yeah.
Just think about all the people. You fly into the airport, which is, 10 minutes away from here. You can come over, have lunch or whatever, and then go to a game if they're playing at that time.
Yeah.
Or just going over to Bucs Stadium and go to a football game.
And anybody who would visit this area, if you're coming to stay on the beach and you were like, and it was baseball season, you would go, oh, well, we're flying into the stadium right there. So why don't we let's work it where there's a game that night, so we can just go right there to the game and then go out to the beach or wherever we're going to go.
And that's what they try to position themselves like, hey, let's go to a game and then let's go out to the beach.
Yeah.
But while we're near the game, while we're near the stadium, let's go watch a game.
Check it out, or just go have lunch, go have dinner before we grab our Uber out to the beach or wherever they're going. Yeah. It's such a no-brainer.
It just makes too much sense.
Yeah. Well, hey, Coach, college football is here. We got Florida State has a game on Saturday night against New Mexico State. This is for coaches. This is what's this week 0 like? You've been working for 6 months on this team, 7 months on this particular team, and you probably have no idea what you're going to get, right?
You know what it is? You have no idea, because if you look at Florida State right now, you're going to have a new quarterback. But you do have two good receivers. I mean, you have Deuce and you have Danzy who can make plays for you. And then on the defensive side, you wouldn't got all these transfers. So now you're going to see how it's going to all gel and come together as a complete team. And you're playing New Mexico State, and I think they lost like 6 of their last 7. at the end of the season, end up beating like UTEP. But, for them, with a new system, with a new quarterback, it'll be a good matchup for them.
Have there been like first games where you're like, I think my team's really good, or I don't think they're very good, and they just shocked you in week one? You're like, what the hell is this?
Well, they've been beating on each other for so long now.
Yeah.
So you go through, from the spring to the fall camp, they've been hitting one another. Now you get a chance to go hit someone else. And you really don't know until they walk out there. But it's just always the mistakes. And that's what you try to cut down on. Hey, the offside penalties, and all those things that that could happen in a first game. You like to get them all out of the way.
Yeah.
And you then get ready for the next one. Because the next one, I want to say they have SMU.
SMU on Monday night, Labor Day.
So you need this game as a good warm-up for you to get ready for SMU.
Yeah, it's so crucial they have this game to get all the bugs out, right?
Well, it's crucial because you start off with another quarterback.
Yeah.
So you think of their history with their quarterbacks. Now you got another from Castellanos. Well, you even go back to DJ 2 years ago.
But do we have to?
Well, Jay, and I was just thinking about this. You're thinking about the history of Florida State. Winky, Winston, Ponder,
Ward,
E.J. Manuel,
Charlie Ward.
Yeah. I mean, you think about all
Casey
that.
Weldon, Brad Johnson, P.T. Willis.
But you think about when they had a quarterback, how good they were.
Always good.
I mean, always good.
And those quarterbacks always sat for 2 years at least, 2 or 3 years. A redshirt season, freshman, sophomore, and then maybe they started their junior year.
You were going to set, even Jordan Travis, he transferred there, but he ended up playing well and took them to an undefeated season.
Yeah.
But when they are good, they have a quarterback.
Yeah.
And even you look at Miami, they for when Mario first got there, now you go get Ward. You have a good year. Now you go get back last year. You have a good year. Now you wouldn't got another good
Darian
quarterback.
Mensah,
So when you have a quarterback, you have a chance. And even with all the rankings, Ohio State has a quarterback. Oregon has a quarterback. Yeah. So Texas has a quarterback. So teams with a quarterback.
Kid? I never heard of him.
Oh, I never heard of him. Hey, Notre Dame with Carr has a quarterback. Yeah. So the teams that are going to be up there in the middle of it all, they have a quarterback.
So what do you think of Ashton Daniels? I mean, he started at Stanford, went to Auburn, was kind of displaced. That played the games I saw him play last year. I thought he played well, but the numbers aren't fantastic. I think it's 24 touchdowns, 16 interceptions, way too many interceptions. What do you think?
You got to get him in a system, and when they get off to this game, you got to get him some completions where you can get his confidence going. Whether it be check downs, whether it be an outcut or whatever, just let him get into the flow of the game. And then once he gets in the flow of the game, then you can kind of figure out who he is. You don't want to put him in no third longs, and you don't want it all right on his shoulders. He got a good receiver outside now. I'd throw that ball up out there.
To Deuce Robinson.
Let Deuce go up and go get it. And plus he has some good running backs. Now, can the offensive line protect for him long enough and where he can get some good throws off? But it's all about getting the guys in the right system where they have a chance to be successful.
All right. When I look at this defense, Tony White's second season as the defensive coordinator, they've got the Desir twins, but they brought in a lot of guys. Linebackers look good, but it's spring practice. You don't know. I think they're going to be improved in that. What do you expect to see from this defense?
Well, he's a 3-3-5 guy. And when you play that type of defense, you want to bring pressure because that's the way you get. Because when you show a 3-3-5, it's kind of a defense that people don't really see a lot of because they usually see a conventional 4 down. So when you bring a 3-3-5, you got to bring pressure. And you're right, you had the two twins, but you don't have much inside. So that's the issue where you got to have. I always felt like this. If you're going to be good on defense, you got to be good down the middle of your defense. Yeah. You have to have a good nose guard where he can point it for you. You have to have a good Mike backer who'll go hit it. And you have to have a free safety who can overlap, who can come downhill and make tackles. Plus, he can cover enough ground to knock down balls. And do they have that? That's what they're missing. You got to have that. You got to be good right down the middle of your defense.
Yeah, and we shall see. All right, so this week it's been unprecedented. A couple of these guys are coming back to college football, specifically headed back to LSU. Now, the Big Ten has come out and said any NFL player, you're not allowed back. The SEC a day later, after they put out this wishy-washy statement about we don't like this, but we're not going to do anything about it. When the Big Ten did something about it, they came out with their statement and said, we're not going to allow it. Now, it'll be challenged in court, and they're probably going to lose.
Right.
But at least they're trying to stop these shenanigans. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, Jay, it's so unfair because once you sign an NFL contract, you're an NFL player.
Right.
And if you don't make it, you didn't make it. That's your fault. Were you good enough to go make it? And plus, you look at it like you have 105 guys on the roster. So from all through the preseason camp, that's all you've been banking on. These are the guys who are my guys, these 105. Now all of a sudden the guy tells you, hey, I can come back, but you haven't accounted for him.
Right.
Now I'm going to have to cut a guy to bring this guy back, a guy that I've already told
Invested
you are a part of this. And you're right, the investment is there. And it doesn't matter how good you think the guy is, whoever they are. I think one was a tight end, and I want to say
Daquan Wright, I believe it is.
Right,
Yeah.
I think he was at Cleveland, and he was going to go back to LSU.
Right,
and then that outside rusher here that was here, he was going to go back, but Plyburn. But it's just once you sign an NFL contract, you are an NFL player.
Yeah, Xavier Harris, defensive lineman, is going to LSU, and then I think there was the tight end too.
The tight end, yes.
I mean, both. That's so. If you're a coach, to your point, you've already got guys in these starting roles, and now 2 weeks before you play, a week and a half before you play, hey, here comes a guy. He's going to take your job. How does that fracture your team? I mean, it has to, right?
And you think about he's going to come in there, and he's been practicing because he's been in the NFL camp, but you haven't counted on him. And it does fracture your team because now I got to go tell so-and-so, hey, look, I'm sorry, man.
Who's probably a pretty good player.
Good player. And he's 105s, and, hey, I'm going to have to let you go. Or there's a guy who's been your starter, and now you're going to bring this guy in, and, hey, you're on the bench now, and this guy here's your starter. That's what's really hard. And I think that's what's really tough about this whole thing. But
Lane doesn't seem to think there's any. I mean, there's a man where loyalty is not.
Well, you look at it, but the Big Ten, at least they made a stance.
Yeah,
they said it's like, no, we're not going to do this, which is good. And then you're right, the SEC was kind of wishy-washy, and everybody knows once it goes to court, they're going
to lose.
They lose. You're going to lose out.
But at least I think it's put some pressure. It's kind of like the Sorsby situation.
Yes,
yeah, he could have played, but Texas Tech there was so much pressure on him. In the league, they just said, you know what? We're not going to do this. We're just not going to do it. And because in the end, now these guys can win. Follow this now. So they go back to court and they win, right? Okay, so you have a right to go to LSU. And Lane says, we want him to play. Well, you know what? The AD could say, you know what? We are suspending him.
Yes.
And you're causing a lot of conflict. Or the coach could you could tell the coach, hey, listen, yeah, he won in court, but you're not playing him.
Right.
That's a coaching decision. And courts can't come after coaching decisions.
Well, what you don't want to do, you don't want to create a problem when you don't have those problems right now.
Right, exactly. There's enough problems going around. So my point is, even though it can be challenged, there's ways to not make it work for these kids coming back.
Well, like you said,
you might win in court, but they can't force us to play you. Your ass is going to sit on the bench.
He won in court. They said he can go back, and then Texas Tech's like, no, you know what? We don't need this. Let's move on. Yeah, and then and bad. Kid made a lot of bad choices in gambling. Mm-hmm. I get it, but it would be nice for him to play somewhere. But he's going to play as a scout team quarterback. Right.
If that, I'm not exactly sure what he's doing if he's gone and left campus. I mean, that's what I would do. I would try to stay in a program of some sort.
Well, you want to stay in the program, plus, because even if you decide, hey, next year I got a chance to go to NFL, at least I've been practicing.
Right, exactly.
I didn't sit around
at a high level. Yeah.
Right. But if you look at these guys who want to come back, they may have made I don't know if they would have made the 53, but they could have made the practice squad in the camp.
Yeah.
So now just make the practice squad and stay there and practice and get better. And then all of a sudden, hey, somebody may get injured, or you may have a chance to move up on the practice squad.
If I was a player any of these players, and I had that opportunity, I'd go back to college. It's guaranteed money, because even if you're on the practice squad, they could kick you off the practice squad next week.
Right.
You got squadoosh. But once you come back to college, that's guaranteed money. So if they're going to pay me $750,000, $500,000 to come back to college, that's more than the practice squad.
Yes.
I'm probably going to play a lot in front of 100,000 people, have a hell of a lot more fun, develop my game a lot better than sitting on the bench in the NFL.
And I can develop my game, and then I have a chance next year to go get drafted.
Again. Yeah.
And I can get drafted higher this time, because if I go and play well, then somebody's going to look at me, and they may take me in the first or second round if I'm that good of a player.
The bottom line is the Protect College Sports Act gets rid of all this shenanigans. It ain't perfect. It's got a lot of flaws in it, but as I said yesterday, it takes care of like 5 to 6 key issues that will totally take us back to where we can control the sport and the kids can get paid. It restricts portability with one transfer. Can't poach coach during the season. Level playing field in terms of a salary cap. It does that. What else? Can't poach coach. Portability.
The eligibility.
Yeah.
Yes.
4 years. You can't go to the NFL. 4 or 5 years with a red shirt. So those are the big things, right?
And that's but that's what you got to have rules in place to
Right.
protect college athletics. Because if you don't, then you're going to get where. Well, I mean, okay, if we let this happen right now, then who's to say next year someone else, because you done already opened the door. So now someone else next year says, you know what, I want to go back to college.
Yeah.
I was there and I didn't get drafted. It's almost like I didn't get drafted where I wanted to get drafted, so I want to go back to college.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think it's the deal is if you give them the antitrust exemption, then those, and they can collectively bargain just like the NFL, then it can't be challenged in court and they can't go in. So that's how it fixes everything. And so again, our esteemed politicians before they left for break did not pass the act. So we're going to come back to the midterms, and they're all going to be worried about that. But I hope that they pass this thing and really, again, the bill ain't perfect, but it's and I think there'll be, for those of you worried about FSU and Miami being able to leave, I think in the bill there's going to be a 6-month window for them to leave without the 5-year penalty. So,
but I mean, just think about that, Jay. What you just said. Our politicians. It's amazing now how sports are in the hands of decisions of the politicians.
Well, and that's the fault. That's the fault of the administrations.
And it used to never. Politics ran the politics.
Yeah, keep the hell out of our sport.
Out of the sports. And you had administrators who ran it. And now, like you said, the NCAA, they have lost so much power, so much respect.
Evaporated.
Yeah, and so no one listens to them because they won't make a decision.
Yeah.
If they had somebody who would make a decision, then they'll be fine.
There was a time when they could have done it all on their timetable, paid the players, and controlled this whole chaos. But they chose not to.
Yeah, think about when you used to be so afraid of the NCAA coming in to investigate your program. Like you said, they had all the power then. You was just so, hey, the NCAA want to come in and talk to you. A coach would be like, oh, my God, what does he want? They were the police.
Yeah.
Like, hey, man, what do they want? What do they want to talk to me about? And you would get nervous.
The rules were so stupid.
And you would have a lawyer. You would sometimes just like, hey, can I bring a lawyer?
Yeah.
No, like you would get so nervous. And that power they have lost.
Yeah. Well, thankfully, that's a good thing because they completely overstepped there because they knew if the players got a sniff of getting paid, their whole monetary system goes up in flames. Not paying the labor.
Yes.
Which was I'm sorry, that was just wrong. It was wrong. It's been wrong, but they could have done it in a reasonable, controlled way.
Oh, easily.
But they chose not to because they're all too greedy.
Well, and like you said, they could have done it in a way where they could have put a cap on it.
Yeah.
And you would be in such a better situation than what we're in right now.
Yeah, 100%. I wish we could go back to those times. I was actually, somebody put Peter Warwick's highlight tape on from the 99 season of all his 40-yard touchdowns. I think he had like 15 of them. And I was just, man, I forgot how good that dude was. And then I was like, why did he win the Heisman? You're like, oh, the shopping spree. Yeah, where he went, this young girl gave him a hookup. Him and Lavernius Coles got $400 worth of clothes. Think about that for $21. Think about that now. and that cost him the Heisman Trophy.
But Jay, you think about how many hookups you had back
Oh my
then.
God.
Come on.
We all had hookups.
Yeah, you could walk in.
Not just
because
athletes,
the
everybody
girl
did.
is working at the store. Hey, listen, come by at this time,
Yeah.
and I will be working there, and y'all pick out something, and boom, and then you're out the door.
I was a bartender. You know how many free drinks I gave away? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? It's college. Everybody has a hookup for everything.
But you're right. Peter Ward. Oh yeah, how fast was he?
Oh my God.
Braden Southeast. I mean,
Man,
he was
a blur.
something. Oh.
But he was like Dion. Every time he touched the ball and had the ball in his hands, you just felt like he was going to score.
Oh, you felt like.
And he usually did.
Yes,
He usually did. I mean, and the contested catches, that dude, if it was up in the air, he just threw it up.
And he could run by people.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't one of those where you thought, no, he was going to, cornerbacks knew, I better give him so much cushion.
Yeah.
Because you didn't press him, you better not press him, because once he won at the line of scrimmage, it was a touchdown.
It was over.
Wink
just threw it up.
Just throw it up there to him
and
let him go run it down.
Yeah.
Yes.
What a player. But that, that was an NCAA violation, and it cost him the Heisman Trophy because he got suspended, I think, for 2 games. But they did win the national championship with him scoring 3 touchdowns in the national championship game. All of them just ridiculous touchdowns. So, but I always thought he's going to be an incredible pro, but he wrecked his knee early on that, I think it was that Cincinnati carpet.
That's exactly right.
And he never recovered
from it.
Never recovered from it. That's sad. All right, so we're this close to college football, but I had to hit you up about these joint practices. The Bucs got absolutely embarrassed yesterday by Liam Cohen and the Jacksonville Jaguars. I understand it's just a practice, but to me, that was a wake-up call that was sadly needed for this team that I think was feeling very comfortable about themselves going into the season.
Well, but if you look at it, Jacksonville has a really good defense.
Yeah.
Because you got Josh Allen. I mean, they already Walker. They got some guys. And so when you get into those joint practices, some of those guys approach it a little different because they look at it, it's going to be good work for me because it's going to be ones-on-ones. Their best offensive lineman or their best wide receiver or their best DBs, they're going up against each other. So it's all about how you approach it. And like I said, some of those guys go in there with the mindset of, hey, I'm not going to get many reps, so let me go in there. If we go one-on-one drill, hey, give me your best guy up here. I'm going to go against your best guy. It's going to be good on good. Yeah.
Well, they took it very seriously, and they took it to the Buccaneers. Looks like the Bucs are making a little bit of a comeback today. But how important are those? Like, if you're a coach, are you really concerned if you get your ass kicked like that?
No, you just want guys that go out and compete. It's not so much you concerned because you want to see good effort. You want to see guys that are moving around, good intensity. You want to see that out of your guys. And you just don't want them to just kind of go out there and just go through the motion.
Yeah.
And with them, and like you said, today they're making a comeback because they know what happened to them yesterday. They will come back today.
That's a good sign.
And practice much better.
All right, Coach, you're doing ESPN games this year, right?
Yeah, you know what? I got the first one. I go to Lexington with my man Stein.
Yeah?
And Stein was my quarterback.
How about that?
So I get Lexington, so I go with him.
So it's
first game.
Kentucky and who?
They got Youngstown State.
Oh, that's a good program.
That'd be a good program for
That's a
them.
good program, yeah.
Yes.
So you excited about doing a little TV?
I'm excited about it. And it'll be good just to see how he's going to fare. And same thing with him. You're talking about Kentucky with 40 transfers, a new coach, a new system. And now they brought back some guys on defense, but the whole thing is just all the new excitement. So it'll be
get back
fun
on
to watch.
campus, get back to college football. All right.
Good to see it.
Is that this weekend or next weekend?
Next weekend.
Next
the
weekend.
5th.
All right. You're not going to be nervous, are you?
Oh, no.
I mean, if you come in here
I get to talk
and you're
ball.
not nervous, man.
Yeah, I get to talk ball, so I don't.
You don't have to talk about Braves stadiums and stuff like that. Now, you don't have to deal with that. All right, Coach. So good to see you. Thanks so much.
Thank you,
all right. All right. Coming up next, the chairman of the Tampa City Council, Alan Clendenin, is going to join us. The documents have been reworked again, and we got a final document, I think. He's going to explain it all to us and kind of give us a preview into tomorrow's vote, what you guys can do in terms of showing up for public comment. He's going to give you a little instruction there as well. So lots to learn from Alan Clendenin coming up next. Stay with us. JP here for Genesis of Tampa. And as you know, I purchased a GV70, a 2023, about 3 months ago. Just had the service done, the valet service. They came here to the studio, picked up the car while I was doing the show, went and serviced it, brought it back like I never even knew it was gone. And if I needed it, they bring me a loaner as well. The service is absolutely incredible. The car, I've been driving it for a while, and I could not love it more. The performance, the luxury, the looks you get, it's pretty cool. It's the GV70. Right now, they have a lease starting at $329 for the GV70, at $369 for the bigger GV80. You've got to go test drive these cars, folks. I'm telling you, the value that you get for the money, it feels like the absolute top of the line, and it is, but it's a fraction of the cost. You got to go test drive them. Tell them JP sent you. 801 East Bears Avenue, just off of 275. You will not regret it. Genesis of Tampa. As the Rays enjoy being back in their Tropicana Field home this season that was ravaged by Hurricane Milton, Italiano Insurance wants to remind us all how important it is to be properly insured. 40% of you are underinsured. That can mean financial disaster. Let the experienced and friendly agents at Italiano shop your policies for the best price and the right coverage. Italiano saved me over $1,000 on our auto insurance last year, over $500 on our homeowners insurance. They can do the same for you. That's a grand slam. Might as well get a double play by adding flood insurance and business insurance to your portfolio. Cost less than you think, and trust me, you do not want to risk your home or personal wealth. That's a whiff. So step up to the plate and call 813-877-7799 and chat with our all-star agents at Italiano Insurance, or call our Boca Grande office at 941-964-0400. From I do to I still do, the Golden Diamond Source is there for you at every special moment in your lives. Yes, I went shopping there for my engagement ring, and it's not actually family, but it sure feels like family with Julie and Steve Weintraub, great philanthropists here in the Tampa Bay area. They've been doing this business for over 40 years. Thousands of customers have bought that perfect ring at the Golden Diamond Source. No matter what your budget is, they will guide you through your first diamond purchase to upgrading your Golden Diamond Source diamond at 100% of its value for a bigger, better diamond. 100% of your diamond's value. You can't get that anywhere else. Enjoy their beautiful, relaxing bridal salon and select for the most extensive collection of diamond engagement rings anywhere. Wedding bands, anniversary rings, it's all there. Go see them at the Golden Diamond Source, 3800 Omerton Road, and please tell them JP sent you. Just over the bridge from Tampa Bay. It's the easiest place to shop for that perfect diamond. Hey guys, you already know that Riveters is the best sports bar in all of Tampa Bay, but now it gets even better for Rays baseball season. During all Rays games, check this out: $6 Tito's, $6 Jack, $6 margaritas, all during Rays games. Are you kidding me? And that's always a great pour from the great bartenders at Riveters. Great service, great food, everything is fresh, nothing is frozen. And let me tell you, if you want baseball and wings, you will not find any better than Riveters. Their sauces, like the blue cheese and the ranch, and everything is handmade, and the wings are big and they're perfect. Wings, baseball, Rays, Riveters. It all comes together during baseball season. Once again, in addition to all the great food and service, you get $6 Tito's, $6 Jacks, $6 margaritas. It's time to celebrate. Baseball season is back, and celebrate at Riveters. You know where it is, right there on Dale Mabry, just north of 275, just south of the stadium. See you there at Riveters. Well, we know there are roofing scammers everywhere, so for ultimate transparency, my friends at Pitch Roofing built something called the Pitch Partner Portal. And it is live right now at partner.pitchroofing.com. See, when you roof with Pitch, you're not just a customer, you are a partner. Every partner gets a private account. You can see your entire project in one place, where it stands, your documents, photos, your balance, and your team. You want an answer at 11 o'clock at night? It's all right there. They also built a free roofing calculator in-house on that same site, so you can get an estimate. And unlike these other websites, you don't have to talk to anyone if you don't want to, and they do not sell your information to other companies. You are never turned into a lead. It all stays with Pitch. Now, right now, the portal is open to all of their Tampa Bay area partners, and Delray Beach, Orlando, the Villages are coming soon. So if you've been thinking about your roof, start at pitchroofing.com or call 727-67-PITCH. That's 727-677-4824. Transparency right in your pocket. That, folks, is roofing done right.
It's roofing done right.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show as we roll on here. Big thanks to Italiano Insurance, 813-877-7799. They've been doing it for over 60 years in Tampa, soon to be known as AJ Gallagher Insurance, but you get the same great customer service, but more options to save. That's a good deal. Italiano Insurance. Do the insurance checkup where they do all the work. You save all the money. 813-877-7799. All right, let's welcome in the chairman of the Tampa City Council, our good friend, Alan Clendenin. Your Honor, how are you? Can I address you as Your Honor? You have the gavel tomorrow, don't you?
You can address me as Your Majesty. No, just kidding.
I love that.
You can address me as Alan. You can address me as chair. You can address me as councilman. You can anything you like. It's fine.
I like Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman. So the deal has been evolving even this week, we're told. And I thought there was a great article in the commentary section in the Times today about how much better this deal has gotten for the public side, especially the city. So why don't you just give us a little informational rundown where the deal sits now, just the major highlights and how good this is for the city of Tampa.
Well, I've said from the beginning of this is good for the city of Tampa, period. Retaining Major League Baseball in our city, in our metropolitan area, in the Tampa Bay area, is very important for city identification, for attracting businesses, to do everything that a city needs to do for economic development, providing jobs. So that was job number one, was figuring out a deal that was equitable and a fair deal for the Rays, for the county, the people, the taxpayers in the county, and the taxpayers in the city of Tampa. I referred to it as a three-legged stool, but the legs have to be balanced appropriately. And I think we've always had a good deal. We just have a better deal. We just made a good deal better. And thanks to the leadership of Councilman Carlson and others and the Rays coming to the table, and of course the county commission as well. I think I can't be understated. One, the staff and Bonnie Wise, Julia Mandel at the county, our staff at the city, led by Scott Steady, our city attorney, and our CFO. They have and our chief of staff, they've really stepped up. They're the ones that behind the scenes have been really slugging it out to try to strike this deal and working on all the details. That's in how this works in government, is that happens behind the scenes with subject matter experts and all the attorneys, and they're getting together, and everybody's fighting for their piece of this pie. And then once that deal is done, it's presented to the elected officials to evaluate the final product, and that's what's going to happen tomorrow at City Council. They're bringing the final agreement, and I actually, let me rephrase that, because I think that's also something that's really kind of misinformation out there. This is a BFD, right? A big blanket deal for Hillsborough County and the city of Tampa. Yes. And I have to caution myself, because I will throw that F word around.
You can do it on the show, by the way. That's why
I would throw it around relatively easily. I know, but I'm not supposed to do that. People that are around me always cringe whenever I start. So I'm trying to control myself as best I can, because I swear like a sailor. That's the air traffic controller.
That's fine.
So this is a BFD for Hillsborough County and the city of Tampa. It's the biggest in the history of our county. That being said, you're not going to capture that in 100. I think the new document's like 140 pages or so. So it grew a little bit over the last week, but you're not going to capture everything in 140 pages. This is the framework agreement that says the Rays organization, the county, the city, and of course, ultimately the CRA, that we're all going to agree that we're all moving forward with this project. And that's what's going to happen tomorrow at City Council and on Friday at the County Commission. It is approving the framework agreement to move this project forward. There'll be many agreements and many more, as they build this thing out and build the stadium. There's going to be, the TSA, the Tampa Sports Authority, will get involved as far, in striking an agreement on managing and what their sphere of influence will be. There's going to be a lot more discussion as this thing moves forward. This is just the green light to go. Let's get it done. Let's build a stadium. Let's provide jobs for construction jobs. Let's start rebuilding Hillsborough College into a modern urban style campus. Let's reclaim this sea of asphalt that is underutilized on Del Mabry Highway. And so that's what the vote tomorrow is. It's about moving. It's about moving not just a stadium project forward. It's about moving a enhancement to the city of Tampa, to Hillsborough County, to the Tampa Bay area, of an area that has been blighted and neglected for too long.
I think that's really well said. And a lot of people want me to ask you, well, what's his vote? What do you have enough votes? And I know your answer is going to be, well, I can't talk to everybody. I don't know what their votes are. So it is what it is. You got to show up and find out. So give me some instructions if you are for the stadium, and if you're not, and you want to have your voice heard. I've heard you say, listen, go up there, 30 seconds, be passionate about it. Give us a personal story maybe that we have not heard, but keep it short and move on. But show up, be passionate, right? That's what we're looking for if you're for
100%. You know, we this isn't a public forum, right? A limited public forum. So we're dealing with public business. We want to hear from the public about these things. So if you are passionate one way or another, if you're passionate and you have information that you feel like you want to share with us, and you also want, these are elected leaders that of course are elected by the public. They want to gauge what the sentiment is of the community. So it is important because people that don't agree with you are going to show up.
Yep.
You know, if they don't have the same opinion that you have, let's say you're a supporter of this project, the anti people are going to show up. So if you don't show up, their voice is going to be louder in the room. So we need to ensure that people that have the same opinion show up. And you're absolutely correct. I appreciate brevity. I appreciate, you know, you can come up, you state your name. You don't even have to say where you live. Just state your name, and then you just share whatever thoughts you want to say. You don't have to repeat the same thing over and over again that other people have said, but you can express your, you know, support or not support, whichever how you feel about it, and move on. But I think being in the room where it happens is a really important thing. And I think that's the nice thing about living in a representative democracy, that your voice resonates in the heads of the people that, you know, elected people. In I've seen it many, many times where votes we thought are going to go one way or another, but the public has shown up and persuaded people to vote a different way. So I think it's critically important to make sure that there's at least enough presence in that room that reflects how you feel. And so if you feel strongly about it, show up. It's not easy, and it's not necessarily quick, because democracy kind of rolls slow, as you know, and the room is relatively limited. But you show up in the morning. There's going to be some city business in the morning that are not related to the Rays. So we're going to do a couple of accommodations first thing in the morning. The meeting starts at 9 a.m. There's a couple of quick accommodations. We'll probably get to general public comment for the way, and this is subject to change, but right now this is the way I'm looking at the framework. We'll do general public comment related to other city business. Then there's some consent agendas, which usually go really quick, right? So we fly through that in 15, 20 minutes. And then there's some second reading public hearings, which also generally go relatively quick. We've already heard them. It's just a second, kind of like an obligatory vote that we have to take. And then we'll probably delve into maybe some of the race stuff. I don't see that happening, you know, right off the bat, but just know that, yeah, there'll be a little bit of boring government kind of wonky stuff in the beginning, but then we'll get to the fireworks after that.
So the meeting starts at 9:30?
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
The meeting starts at 9 o'clock. We'll be doing the roll call, pledge allegiance, you know, that kind of stuff in the morning, and then we'll do a couple little other business kind of things, and then we'll start into city business, and then.
When do you think you'll vote? When do you think you'll
vote? Now, the actual vote will come after public comment that we do the public comment for the Rays and for the city business, and then if we do it the way I want to do it for the Rays as well. I don't see it happening any earlier than 11:30. I also, by the way, I don't know if you were there last time, you know, we took a lunch.
Yes.
I'm actually ordering lunch in for council this time, so that our lunch will only we'll probably break around noon for lunch, but we'll only be 30 minutes this time, because I'm going to have lunch here prepped for people so they don't have to go off property. I'll have lunch back here for the council members. They can go eat a quick bite and get back into council chambers. We'll just break for a half hour, so you won't have to sit around waiting for that.
and then the vote will come depending how much public comment. Are you going to limit it to a certain
Depends on how
amount of
much
time?
public comment. It could come anywhere between, I would say, 1 to 2 o'clock, maybe. I mean,
Yeah.
that is really shooting from my hip. I don't know.
Yeah, just depends on who shows up, and then you'll at some point you'll say, okay, we're going to vote.
It's a process, yeah.
Okay, well, then we're going to vote. All right. So you guys have your marching orders out there, Petermans. Get there at 8:15, 8:30. Get in the building. There's an overflow room. You might get some pizza. That happened last time, so you never know who's going to send pizza.
I can't imagine
it's Eddie and Sam's too.
I can't imagine
the best.
that won't happen again.
Yeah, get you some Eddie and Sam. Free pizza tomorrow for only those who support it, though. If you don't support it, you don't get pizza. That's how it works. I'm kidding. All right, so just in terms of where we're at right now, I'm not going to ask you. People want to know what your vote is. If you don't know, he's voting yes. I'll speak for you.
Yeah, I don't think there's any ambiguity there. Again, I even when this deal started, I recognize folks' concern, and I recognize that there's a lot of needs in the Tampa area. We have transportation problems. We have roads that need to be repaved. We got parks that got to be improved. There's a lot of things we have to do. But the thing about government is we can't neglect one area for another. You have to be able to juggle all the balls.
Mm-hmm.
And this particular project is going to provide the economic catalyst that will help us do all the other things as well.
Right.
Without economic activity, if you're satisfied with the city of Tampa exactly the way it is today, with your roads in the same condition they are today, with transportation exactly they are today, the parks exactly they are today, then do nothing.
Right.
But if you want to improve the quality of life of the people who live here, we have to improve our economic viability, economic activity, increase the valuation of this properties like this, and raise more revenue. Because we do not have a shortage of ideas, and we do not have a shortage of what needs to get done. What we have is a shortage of cash. And so we need to create the economic viability that creates more money, creates the economic engine, and to be able to get these things done.
This is what I don't get, that people don't get, is that there's always this false choice. A lot of the opposition says we need money for roads. We need money for potholes. We need money for storm drainage and all that. And that's absolutely true. Right. But the best way to get this money is to invest and make more money, bring more visitors here. 45 million people a year come to Tampa Bay. If we can get them to stop here for a little while and spend some money instead of heading straight to the beaches of St. Petersburg, we'll get more money. And that's just an anecdotal thing. There's a lot more to it than that. We can get more money to solve these problems that we haven't been able to solve. I mean, it seems pretty simple to me.
Well, again, if people are happy with the way things are right now, then do nothing.
So
if you want a better community, you want a better quality of life, you want to be able to provide jobs for the next generation of people that are coming up, then you move forward with projects like this. And I've said all time again, if you want to know what status quo looks like, this area of Drew Park hasn't changed since World War II significantly.
That's right.
It is. So do nothing is exactly what we've got. You got adult bookstores, you got whatever else you've got going on up there, and a sea of asphalt. That is what you get for the next 60 to 80 years.
Yeah.
This, I said I throw it out there. Disney and Microsoft are not coming to save Drew Park. We're not going to build Disney World in Drew Park. This is our version of Disney World. This is like what happened in 1971 when Disney opened up in Orlando and created that economic engine. This is in a micro way. This is what this means to the city of Tampa.
There is some opposition out there about the lack of guarantees for what the Rays are going to build. Address that, if you will.
Well, that's part of how this deal changed, and it went from, and this was Councilman Carlson's concept, and again, this is what kind of made a better deal. It went from a guaranteed penalized kind of way to an incentive way. And let me be clear, the cost of purchasing this team and the cost of what the Rays are going to invest, the Rays are spending just on the stadium side. I mean, it's a ridiculous almost $1.4 billion of private money, Rays money going into building the stadium. For them to be able to make this a viable project for a business, they have to build this other stuff. They to make this deal work, they need the hotels, they need the restaurants, they need all of these things. So they are incentivized because this is part of what makes their bottom line work. I mean, that's the incentive for them. It's we don't need to have those kind of things in this because they're already incentivized, because it will be a business failure if they don't.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a no-brainer. I mean, why, if you can build a condo tower and make another $300 million in profit, why wouldn't you do it?
Absolutely.
That's what they do. They build
and,
things.
and that's absolutely correct. And this is going to be a vibrant. I mean, you look at other areas. You look at Water Street. You look at Midtown. We're going to have a similar kind of thing happening at West Shore. These projects, now you put that along with the stadium, a stadium area, or sports complex area. Again, the next thing we're going to start talking about after this deal is done and we start building this thing out is transportation options.
Yep.
You got to link this thing in. So this is a lot of times there's a moment in history where the everything comes together and people have to recognize and see the door and walk through the door. Yep. And this is that moment in history. The door is open for us to walk through. We just have to walk through that door to get this thing done. We have the right people in the right place across various lines of business: the airport, the Expressway Authority, Florida Department of Transportation, and this new Rays. Can't underestimate the new Rays ownership team group. I'm sorry, they are really invested significant, a good group of people that I think are really going to make a significant improvement. I compare it to Vinnick and the Lightning and how entrenched they are in the Tampa Bay area and what they've done. They've been a transformational team for the city of Tampa, and they have been really good partners. I fully expect, based on the relationship that I have seen and built with this new ownership team, that we're going to enjoy a similar type of relationship with them that we do with what we had with Vinnick and what we have with the newer Lightning ownership.
Alan, somebody just asked down here, can you ask him, will there be any affordable housing included in the deal? And my thought on this is listen, you don't need to put affordable housing next to a stadium. That is not smart. What you need to do is generate money from the stadium and then take that money and build the affordable housing where it's most economically done and efficiently done. And if you put it next to a stadium, that is a political stunt to make the deal look good, but it's completely moronic. So be smart.
JP, we talk about the highest and best use of property, dirt, right? So every square inch of dirt has what would be the highest and best use. So this 120 acres is contained just on that Hillsborough College campus. It is associated with a massive amount of property between this property and the airport and Hillsborough Avenue. Was wedged in there. There's a lot of opportunity in Drew Park in that CRA area for affordable housing. Part of the CBA, the Community Benefit Agreement, there is going to be some incentive that the Rays will provide for affordable housing, not necessarily on that piece of dirt, right, but we can do affordable housing. And I fully expect, because there's going to be an increased demand, there's going to be a demand for workers. They want to live and work and play in a close area. It's not necessarily on this 120 acres, right, but it could be across the street. It could be a block away. And that's where we're going to see that type of development. It'll be, and there is some of that is going to be in the CBA that they'll be divvied up. And so fingers crossed. I think that there's, as a matter of fact, I think Drew Park is ripe for building some more affordable housing. And I think having this project here will help us get that process moving.
Yeah. All right, Al, anything else you want to add before we see you tomorrow?
No, it's Rays. I mean, this is what we're in right now. Again, the biggest project ever come to Hillsborough County. I mean, we're on the precipice of doing something great. The door is open. We need to walk through. We need to get y'all's help to be there to push it through that door if somebody needs some assistance. I'm looking forward to it. I believe that we have a really good ownership team. I believe we've got good partners in the county commission, and my fellow members of council that's supporting this. I'm proud of them that they've really stepped up. It's not easy to make these types of decisions as an elected official. You get I mean, my goodness, you should, the things that I've been called,
Me too, bro. We're all there.
It's not an easy thing to do. It's not an easy
No.
thing to evaluate. I understand people's angst. I get it, but I think sometime in the not so distant future, because this is going to move pretty quickly, people will think this really was a no brainer. They'll look back on this and go, why was there even any question? I mean, again, I look at Water Street, and there was community pushback. You look at gas works now, there's community pushback. But then you look at what it brought. I mean, the aquarium in downtown Tampa is a great example. Yeah. Sandy Freeman was the mayor at the time, and she built this aquarium in an area that was dilapidated warehouses. Sound familiar? Dilapidated warehouses, adult bookstores, and other nefarious kind of stuff. There was nothing over there. I mean, literally nothing over there. And she goes, we're investing all this money in this area. That aquarium is the catalyst to tens of billions of dollars of private investment. We would not have Channelside. We would not have the Water Street. I don't think we'd have the Emily Arena. We wouldn't have Gasworks. You wouldn't have the streetcar. You wouldn't have all these things had she not been a visionary and seen that one public project can be a catalyst for multi-generational wealth and development. And I think that's what we're looking at now. This is going to be something that people are going to look back on and say, this was easy.
Last thing, your confidence level that this is going to get done. I always ask you that as the last thing, that the city vote will go positively. Your confidence level, without speaking to your other constituents.
In the silly world of politics, anything can happen, and that's why I said if you believe in this project, you show up and you express your opinion. I'm hopeful that people will see it for what I think it is, and if you read the Tampa Bay Times, they have that editorial today you referred to. I think it really clearly stated and kind of restated a lot of stuff that I've been saying for months now. But I think you never can leave things up to chance. If it's like the people that don't show up at the ballot box, and then things happen. Yep. You got to show up. You got to express your opinion. Let's get this through. Let's get it across the finish line. And if this falters, a foot from the finish line and falls apart because people don't show up to express their opinion, then shame on us. So get out there and let people know.
All right. And I think we'll have the votes. Thank you, Alan. Appreciate it. I'll see you tomorrow after I'm going to do the show at 10 to 12, and then I'll be there afterwards, right after lunch. So I'll be there for the vote.
We'll see you guys tomorrow. And I appreciate
I'm going to warn you right away that if the vote isn't yet positive, you can throw me out because we will all stand up and cheer. We will all stand up. Okay. We will be out of order.
Be prepared to be ruled out of order because I run a tight ship.
Fully prepared. Thank you. All right. See you. Thank you, Al. Appreciate it. I warned him. We're coming. We're coming with numbers, and we are going to celebrate. And if it goes poorly, we will definitely be kicked out.
You're so getting kicked out.
We will be ushered out unceremonious either way. Well, if we win, then it's going to be great. We will be chanting. We'll be chanting either way as we walk out. So, So anyway, you guys show up in the morning. Be there by 8:30 at the latest to get in, get the original seats in the back. There'll be an overflow room, and probably once they break, they'll bring everybody else up. I'm going to come in the second wave, be there for the vote. Hopefully I can get in the door as a media member. So I'll be there for that. So I'll be on my social media doing all that thing. And then Friday morning, we're going down to the county. We're going to do the county thing in the morning. Show moves to noon to 2, and Big O show after that, 2:30 to 3:30. We should have a vote by then. Ken Hagan has promised me he will come on after that, and I think we're going to be celebrating. So
tomorrow's showtime's normal, right?
Showtime normal tomorrow.
And Friday
showtime normal. Friday is a late show.
And for those of you that are JP Peterson YouTube membership members, I guess at any level, if there's pizza, you get 2 pieces of pizza.
That's right. Absolutely. We will see to that. As we, and we will have pizza, West Shore pizza coming up here on Friday evening. So and we'll probably get some burgers and hot dogs going. We got beer behind the bar, and we will be, partaking in watching some baseball. The Rays will be playing the Padres, and then the Bucs will be playing the Jags. So we'll do that. All right, quickly before we go, some of your thoughts. Sergio tells us Jaguars get a deep touchdown on a throw to rookie Josh Cameron, out-leaping Zion McCollum in the end zone. McCollum beat again.
He's not had a good camp, has he?
He is not. He is not. None of our corners. Aiden Garnes has had a good camp. Nobody else. Aiden Garnes, not Gaines. Gator Josh says it's sad that all the power conferences had to make a rule the NCAA should have implemented long ago. Come on, the NCAA had a rule. There's always been rules against NFL players.
It's been there forever.
It's been there forever. But the judges decided that you can't restrict eligibility in any way. In other words, everything the NCAA has done forever has been unconstitutional. And we knew that. We knew that, but they got away with it for decades.
Yeah.
Justin Bartlett says the stadium opposition is ideological, not practical. The conviciousness of other people's money is a scourge to society. Instead of improving their own lives, they want to steal from others. I think I understand what you're saying there. There's a lot of big words. It's just the JP Peterson Show.
I'm confused.
Be careful. What he's basically saying is it's just people that were generally against giving public dollars to private enterprise. And I get that. I totally get that, especially with the wealth gap that exists today. But in practical purposes, to your point, this particular deal is a tremendous deal for the county and the city. It is a great public-private partnership. And as we've said, there are tons of examples of this right here. Water Street, even Raymond James Stadium, which was a totally publicly funded facility for $180 million what that has brought us, keeping our NFL team, which is a tremendous economic driver, in case you don't know. Look at the cities that have them. Look at the cities that don't. And the concerts and all the money that Raymond James Stadium, 3 Super Bowls, national championship games, bowl games, all the things that has happened in that stadium. That is one of the greatest investments we've ever made. So there are times, and people think of it bad because the Glazers made so much money and they didn't pay for it. Okay, that's fine. I get that. But it's great for us. So would you rather have not had all those things because the Glazers made money? I mean, I don't care. We got the pleasure out of it. We love having an NFL team. Oh, but I'm so mad that the Glazers made money. I'm so mad the Rays are going to make money. It's not the city's money. It's not the county's money that they're going to make. It's money coming from outside sources, people that want to go to ball games, people that want to travel here and spend their money here. That's not coming out of the city and county coffers. Yes, the Rays are going to make money, lots of it. But guess what? We're going to have a baseball team. We're going to have all the benefits of it. That is a more than fair deal. They're putting in $1.4 billion just to build a stadium. That's what the whole stadium in St. Pete was going to cost. So if I'd have told you, hey, the new ownership group is going to pay for the whole stadium, you'd be like, damn. But now we're getting a much better stadium than that little shit box they were going to build in St. Petersburg for $1.3 billion, which, by the way, they were never going to build. Michael LaRue says Lane Kiffin and LSU helped instigate the fifth-year eligibility lawsuit that has NFL players going back to college. Kiffin and LSU may have interfered with the contractual rights of multiple NFL teams. This is true. They drove this whole thing to get those players to come back to college. And that's why he's so anxious to get them. And I understand it if I'm an LSU fan, I got a coach that's going balls to the wall to win, doing anything, any means possible. So as an LSU fan, I'm probably happy about that. That's his job. But as a fan of college football, no. Sucks. Yes, the swing vote, everybody's a swing vote. Let's just be honest about that. So I don't want to give that moniker to Carlson. Nia Young is a swing vote. Alan Clendenin is. Luis Fiera, they're all swing votes because you can't get the deal done without any of them. So we're not going to give credit to anybody more than the other person. Just make it happen. And if it goes no, there's going to be hell to pay. I can tell you that. All right. Anything else in here, Timmy, that you've seen that we need to get to? Thank you guys for all commenting. I appreciate it. I'm so sorry we can't get to everything, but they are posted in the show. People read them. So you're not doing it just for nothing. We really appreciate you guys being in here. If you don't get read, it's not because it wasn't great. It's just, we had a lot of guests today and we apologize.
The celebrity death trifecta is complete, JP, though.
Oh, Tim Curry?
Tim Curry died today, yeah.
Oh.
So we had the Hayden, whatever her name was, girl who I didn't know who she was. I don't know who she was, who she is.
Murdered.
Looks that way, whoever she was. And then, of course, Dolly
Murdered
Parton.
by the cabal. Who was the other one?
Dolly Parton.
Dolly Parton and Tim Curry. Yeah. Dolly Parton. Can we say a few words about Dolly?
How great was she?
Oh.
I watched 9 to 5 again last night in her honor, and that movie holds up. I will hold that up against any movie.
Yeah, great film. Great film.
I love that movie.
For its time of, when feminism was really starting to blossom and women in the workforce, it was so on point. Dabney Coleman nailed it.
I love Dabney Coleman.
Nailed it as
in
the
everything
asshole
he's
boss.
ever been in.
So perfect. Yeah, great film. And Dolly was hell of an actress. Hell of an actress. She pulled that off. Not easy. Not easy. What a wonderful woman.
And you know
beloved
what?
By everyone.
I'm running into a ton of people, JP, who didn't know the song that Whitney Houston made famous again, "I Will Always Love You," was a Dolly Parton song. I'm like, how did you not know that? Like, it was a hit for her way before Whitney redid it.
Crushed it. Both of them crushed it.
Everybody's like, did you know that was a Dolly Parton? I'm like, well, yeah.
Oh, she has so many great songs and women empowering songs.
Yeah.
In a very, and her, just her whole career, her life, she was married since she was 20 years old. You wouldn't even know who her husband was.
He just passed away a couple of years ago too. They were together the whole time.
And she gave away all of her money, like all of her money. She did so much good for so many people. And she wasn't afraid to say what was on her mind, but she wasn't hated, I don't think, by anyone.
No, and you know what? She earned so much respect, and it's on this video's all coming back around. There was a 1979 interview, I think it was 79 or 77, that Barbara Walters did with her when she was shooting political questions at her about the late 70s, for those that don't know, was a little traumatic politically here in the United States with Carter in office. And just shooting political question after political question at Dolly Parton. And all she said was, I'm an entertainer. People come to me for entertainment and to hear me sing and to hear my songs. I don't think anybody really cares what I think about what you're asking me, or something to that effect. Like, was not gonna engage. To me, that's what entertainers should do. Entertain.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she's getting all the props for it. And you know what? Elvis, to his credit, Elvis did the same thing when he was asked those kind of questions. He's like, I don't think anybody really cares what I think. So it's
because the bottom line is the people that are in charge, they want to use these people, and they have used them, and they're paid to be used by political people. I mean, just look at the last campaign.
Yeah.
Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift, all of them, LeBron James. These people are being paid. They're not that's not necessarily where their allegiances lie, but they're paid a lot of money to go out there and say things that they probably don't believe in, or promote things they don't believe in.
Yeah.
That are very harmful to a lot of people, by the way. Very harmful. I was just recently counseling somebody on this, and they were asked, I'll leave the names out of it, but they were asked to be a political spokesman. I said, I'm just carrying the message here. They asked me to contact you if you wanted to support this person. They would pay you for a paid political endorsement. And the person said, I'll look at it. And they came back, and I said, no pressure from me, by the way. I'm just, this is an opportunity for you to make money. I thought I'd pass it on if it's something you want to do. He came back. He says, I don't know if I want to get involved in this. And I said, personally, I think that's the right decision. It's not worth the money. It's not worth the money. It's just not worth the headache that you're going to get, especially, at this point in your life. It's not worth it. So they declined it. And I think that's the right way to go, because it's not like people are respectful anymore. Once you choose a side, they feel that they have the right to destroy you.
Yep.
And I do mean destroy you. physically, mentally, harm you physically. They believe that if you don't believe what they believe, they have the right to harm you physically and your family. Why would anyone want to get involved in any of that? Because that's where we're at these days. Political violence is accepted, which is incredible to even say those words. But that's where we've come. So why be public about it if you're a professional athlete? Yeah.
Yep.
You know, it used to be a time where you'd say, you know what? You have an obligation as an athlete that if you believe something, if you just stand by and let it happen, you're part of the problem. And I understand that. I understand that to a point. And I think as a citizen, that's true. But if you're an entertainer, an athlete, and have a huge platform, you're just being used by some political force, whether one side or another. And people now feel like they have the right to physically harm you if you don't believe what they do. Why would you want to put yourself in that situation? It's not worth it. It's not worth it.
Nope.
All right. That'll do it for us today. So God bless Dolly Parton. May you rest in peace, and Tim Curry and Hayden Panettiere as well. And all those folks out there that have recently passed. Big day tomorrow. Show up at Tampa City Council, County. Hopefully by Friday night, we're sitting in this chair right here, Timmy, celebrating the votes, and we're moving forward for a forever home for our Tampa Bay Rays. Hopefully.
We even have Dallas Stars, Dallas Mavericks updates as they have reached an agreement to stay at the AAC together harmoniously through 2031 when their leases are actually up. It was a 30-year lease that they both signed. And then so they will continue to develop their own stadiums and arenas and entertainment districts separately and then build those after the current lease is up. So everybody's happy. They're still happening. They're just going to fulfill their lease agreements with the AAC, and then they'll go build their own things again.
So, well, they'll be ready to move in, though.
By far, yeah. Though they're still going to be built, in the interim, and then they'll be ready to move in 2032.
All right, there we go. Everybody's doing it.
Y'all come to Dallas.
Must be pretty good.
Let's party.
Have a great day, everybody. Go Rays. We will see you tomorrow.